How are you, bro? Welcome, welcome. So, I just want to talk about why it frustrates me, why it makes me so sad, and yeah, just basically why I'm like so disappointed and seeing so much average in the world, so much people being happy with being average. Um, I was walking around Stater Brothers the other day, and I seen so many, like, I don't know if this is the first time I noticed this, but my bad, this shit fucking messed up. The camera, it's all fucking fucked up. My bad for all the language, but I was walking around Stater Brothers the other day, and I just seen so many fat people, bro. And I'm not saying this to shame on anybody, but I also am kind of saying this to shame on you guys, because, well, not shame on you guys, but just, how can I fucking, yeah, just, I'm not saying this to shame nobody, but at the same time, I also kind of am, because if you're overweight, you can fix that. That's not something you're born with, unless there's some fucking condition out there that I don't fucking know of, that I'm not aware of. But for the most part, I think everybody in the fucking world can change their can change their fat, or like fat. Yeah, they could change their fat, to being fucking ripped, having muscles and shit, just being overall being in shape, being fit. But for example, like if you're born with any kind of disability, where perhaps you don't have a leg, an arm, and things that you can't fix, like I've always said, don't worry about it, bro. If you can't fix it, if you were born like that, learn to love yourself. That's the actual meaning of loving yourself. If you're born with something that you can't fix, for example, if your facial structure is like different to everybody else's, for example, like if your nose is perhaps, well, I don't know how you say it, but if you have like a disability in your nose where it's like a different shape than everybody else's and you cannot fix it, don't worry about that shit, bro. Whatever, it doesn't matter if anybody else fucking bullies you. Do not worry about that shit, because that's how you were born. That's the actual meaning of loving yourself. Love yourself how you are. That's the actual meaning. But you shouldn't, like, if you're fucking fat, overweight, and you can change that shit, and and you don't want to change it, you're not doing anything to change it, you're just falling in love with instant gratification. And because, like I said, being fat is something that everybody can change. I seen a video the other day of a guy. He had no arms and he had no legs, and bro was still in shape. He has a better physique than me. So that's the type of shit that I'm talking about. There's people out here who are less fortunate than you, and your fucking fat ass just wants to stay in the fucking couch all day, eating chips, eating your little snacks, your little candies, little sweets. So, I mean, if you don't want to change it, you have your free will. But that shit is just like, it's fucking sad, bro, because there are people who are less fortunate than you and me, and you still decide to not fucking put in the work. You don't want to put in the effort. You're okay just making fucking money. Like, the amount of money you make is a joke. And like I said, there's less fortunate people than you and me who are just like getting on that shit. Their finances are fucking good, their physique is good. They're just overall, their life, they've worked with what they got, and they've made it even farther than you and me, who have the opportunity, who we are fortunate to have both hands, both legs. So every time I don't want to work out, I just think of those people, and I'm like, man, that's the only motivation I fucking need, is knowing that there are people who are less fortunate than me, and they're still going after it. They're still waking up, hitting the gym, and like I said, people like that have way better physiques than me. So I still need to get on my shit just like you do, but I'm not just sitting around and shit. Like, whenever I do catch myself trying to skip the gym, trying to skip my finances, I think of people who are less fortunate than me, and I just keep repeating this shit all over and over and over. But I'm not gonna get tired of saying this. People who are less fortunate, they're still doing better in life than me. So that's the only motivation I fucking need, because I'm not just doing this for myself. I also want to be able to inspire. I want to be able to inspire you guys to, you know, fucking get on your shit and yeah, just hop on the self-improvement path. So yeah, man, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, is just being mediocre, being fucking average. Because like I said, I've fallen victim to this. Also, another thing is smoking. If you're smoking, drinking, and you're like, because I used to have this mentality of, nah, I could smoke and I'll be successful. But I tried it, and if you're anything like me, which is why you're watching my videos, that shit does not work for us. Because the first hit you take of the weed, you want another one and another one and another one, and before you know it, that shit's got you fucking trapped. So cut off the weed, cut off any vices you got, whether it's fucking corn, whatever it is that you're watching, cut all of that shit off. And yeah, that's just what I want to talk about today, is stop being fucking average. If you're okay with this shit, then I don't know how I can help you, because you're okay. If you want help, you need to be able to help yourself first. So yeah, don't be fucking average. Get on the grind, get on the self-improvement path. It's a lonely path, I'm not gonna lie, because as I've gotten on the self-improvement path, I've noticed that I lost friends. It wasn't really friends, it was just people who I did like dumb shit with. We would get drunk, go out and fucking do all these fucking dumb shit. But yeah, as I've been on the self-improvement path, I noticed that all of those friends who said they were my friends, I've lost a friendship with them, because not because I don't want to bring them up, because I've tried to bring them up, but every time I talk to them about it, they just like kind of like push me off. They're like, nah, I don't want to do all that shit. Why do I gotta do all that shit, get on the self-improvement path and all that? So like I said, if you don't want to help yourself, then I can't help you. You got to want to help yourself. You got to want to help yourself before anybody else can help you, you know? So yeah, that was all for today. Just don't be fucking average. Every time you catch yourself being average, think of people who are less fortunate than you. And you know, yeah, every time you catch yourself trying to be average, trying to be an average Joe, being mediocre, think of people who are less fortunate than you and me, and know that they are getting after it, no matter their circumstances, whatever they're going through. Like I said, if they don't have a fucking arm, a leg, they're still going to the gym, they're still working on their finances, and they're just out working us, you know? So every time you catch yourself being average, think of those people and know that you're fortunate to have whatever struggles you're going through. I don't give a fuck. You're still fortunate, because there are kids going through worse right now. You know, innocent kids going through worse. Parents that have to take care of their kids during the worst. And you and me, we get to enjoy this peaceful night. Like for example, me, I don't need no fucking weed. I don't need nothing to drink, because I've been looking at the wars recently, and I'm like, damn, like they probably want the peace that I have right now, just being able to sit outside, not hearing any fucking bombs dropping or anything like that. And sometimes I still fuck up, but when I fuck up, I get up, because even though I think the verse was, the righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up. So get back up whenever you fall down. Don't be average. And that's all I wanted to talk about today. So you have a blessed night, brother, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one.